Hi, this is Dwayne with Winefoot, and we're here with Trey Busch from Slight of Hand Cellars out of Walla, and some of you guys might know him from Basel Cellars, formerly. Trey, can you give us a little bit of quick history about your transformation from Basel up to your home gig?
I can, yeah, you bet. I'll actually backtrack. I'll go back to when I started at Dunham. I moved to Walla in 1999, 2000, right at the beginning of 2000. You'll work for Eric Dunham Cellars. Was his assistant winemaker for a couple of years. Learned how to make wine. Was hired by Basel family and one of their business partners. Was there for about 5 years and was sort of chomping at the bit to do my own project, and met the right people. Sandy and Jerry Solomon, who are my business partners in the winery. Met them several years ago in Sun Valley, and we became great friends, and I just sort of dropped the bomb on them that, you know, hey, be interested in doing a winery together, and they were, and so that was that. Turned in my resignation and started my own winery with these guys, and have a tiny little tasting room in downtown Walla. We're going to open a tasting room up in Woodinville, make about 2,500 cases of wine, 2 table wines, 3 high-end wines, and a couple of odds and ends like a little rosé, a little Chardonnay, a little dessert wine.
What's your personal favorite?
You know, probably only because it's near and dear to my heart is the Archimage, which is our starting in 07, which is going to be bottled this summer. It's close to 50-50 Cab Franc Merlot, and it's sort of styled after Cheval Blanc, which is my favorite wine. So, not that it's my table wine, but it's by far my top wine. So,
You guys primarily using fruit out of Walla Valley or Columbia Valley, or a little bit
we're
of
about
both?
half and half right now.
Yeah.
I'm working with Vapiano Vineyards. My friend Justin Wiley sells me fruit. I get some Merlot from him. I get some Devil River Merlot, which is the estate that was in front of Basel. My Cab Franc comes from 2 places, one in Walla and one from Dennis Pleasant, which is over at Prosser. I still get my Lewis Vineyard Syrah, which is the bulk of my Syrah production. And I get Lake Helene Syrah back in Walla, and those two get blended together, and that's sort of my Syrah program. And for my table wines, my Gewürztraminer comes from Evergreen Vineyard, which is on the Columbia River Gorge, north of the amphitheater.
Yep.
Great, cool climate site, great Riesling coming out of there. I get that from the Milbrandt family. And same thing for our red table wine, the Spellbinder program. Currently, the first 2 vintages have been all Wild Oak Slope fruit. Starting 08, starting this past harvest, we'll have a little more Columbia Valley Walla fruit in the Spellbinder, but currently the first 2 vintages, plus my next vintage, is all Wild Oak Slope. So,
Nice.
yeah, it's a good program.
Tell us a little bit about your transformation into winemaker. I know you used to work at Nordstrom, I believe it was?
I did, yeah. Matter of fact, I was in the store today. I was in Seattle.
Take us a little bit from Nordstrom to winemaker.
I was working for Nordstrom. I was my last job there was a corporate financial buyer for the company, which meant that I basically was a financial planner for men's clothing for the Northwest for 15 or 18 stores, writing out the budget, a year and a half out in advance. So that was, my desk job. And knowing Eric, I met Eric about 3 years earlier through Jamie Brown from Waters Winery, currently not Waters. Jamie's owned a record store in Seattle. And when he sold the store, moved to Walla, my wife and I started visiting, and I met Eric through Jamie. And we were at a dinner party at Eric's house in late 1999, and he just offered me a job and asked me if I'd consider moving down there. So quit my job a week later. I should say I gave him my notice, and then quit about a month later and moved to Walla. And that was that. Didn't know anything about winemaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good.
Well, obviously you must have had some interest, right, in the whole wine thing.
Yeah, I had a little bit. It was interesting because it was completely unknown to me. I was like, wow, this is going to be a really cool deal. But it wasn't. I had no sort of desire or passion to be a winemaker by any means. It was really more of we just really loved Walla. It was a great little town. My daughter at the time was 1. We thought it'd be a great place to raise her. Now we have 2 kids, and it has been a great place to raise our family. It's a great community. There's great restaurants. It's it's a cool scene. So it's after working for Eric for 6 months, that's sort of when I got the bug. Otherwise, it was just a cool job to have.
When do you think we'll see Walla grow into more Napa-like in terms of the heavy tourism and the outrageous prices and that kind of
I'll be
stuff?
honest with you, I don't think it'll ever happen. I think that I think we're too far away from anything. You know, Napa's an hour from San Francisco. You know, you have 4 million people an hour away, and we're nowhere near that. It really takes some effort to get there. We don't really have the infrastructure as far as hotels and B&Bs. There's certainly a great hotel there, and lots of other hotels, and there's a lot of B&Bs and rental houses, but really never see the influx of people like that. So I think it's always going to be more of a outreach community where people really make an effort. But that's the nice part, is the people who come there really do want to be there for the wine. It's not just, hey, let's just go wine tasting.
Right.
Kind of like in Woodinville, for that matter. I mean, they get a lot of people, but I've been hanging out in Woodinville watching the traffic, and they get a ton of traffic, and that's why we're going to open a tasting room up there. But I also see a lot of them just looking at those, hey, it's easy, 30 minutes away, let's go taste some wines, in and out, no purchases, whatever. So, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Slight of Hand and how your personal touch and a little bit about your personal touch for the winery as well as your vision for the wines.
Sure. The idea was to have the majority of the production be table wines, to be under $20. And foreshadowing with that 2 years ago, it's been the perfect program because obviously with the way the economy is right now, people are definitely looking for that under $20 price point. So those wines have really taken off for us. And I really wanted to concentrate my high-end program to my very, very best lots every year. And it allows me to cull through all my lots, pick out my best lots, pick out my best barrels, make a tiny amount of my high-end stuff, and whatever doesn't make the cut goes in the table wine program. We don't really seem to get any bigger than 3,000 cases. I make my wines at Savaya, which is Rich Funk's place.
He's a great guy.
Great guy, and he has plenty of room for me. He's actually expanding this year, and he's going to have a little more room for us. I rent space from him, saves me a $2 million building, or even, for that matter, going to the airport and renting a space, and my overhead would be huge. No equipment, because I have to get used to the equipment. It's a perfect scenario. It's good for Rich, too, because he's getting income from me as a tenant, so it helps offset a lot of the costs that he's been incurring with having a new winery and stuff. So, but yeah, 3,000 cases is more than enough for us. I'm the only employee of the winery. Sandy and Jerry live in Sun Valley. They live in San Diego. They're sort of back and forth between the two. They hang out Walla Walla a little bit, but for the most part, I run the tasting room. I'm on the road, sell the wines. I'm sure the ones making the wines. So
cool.
That's it.
What do you happen to be drinking like a lot of lately, besides beer?
Stella, way to go.
Yeah.
What am I drinking a lot of? I would say if I had to inventory my cellar, I would have to say Chateau de Pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things we've been trying to really encourage folks to do is really branch out and really expand their palate. And the only way you can do that, of course, is by trying everything you can from anywhere you can.
Everywhere. Absolutely.
And we're trying to really get people rid of the home bias. I mean, it's cool to support your local guys, but the thing I tell people is whenever you go to the store and you buy your favorite bottle of Washington wine, pick up something from Mendoza, Argentina, or pick up something from Australia or wherever, South Africa, and just really stretch out and try new things, because I think it's going to not only build your palate, but it gives you something good to contrast the Washington wines to.
Actually, I think it validates what we're doing here in Washington too. People assume that French wines or Italian wines are better than Washington or California, but
well, they're clearly different.
They're clearly different, but it's hard. I have a hard time, even though I drink world wines, I still come back to Washington. I mean, I still think that we have the most precise and focused fruit profile of anywhere in the world. I think that we have some of the best balanced wines in the world. So,
not that you're biased or anything.
Not biased at all. No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. What are a few of your favorite vintners, say out of California, just off the top of your head?
Boy, that's a really tough one. I would have to say, if I were to look up to anybody just for what they've done and for the wines they've made, Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown makes Schrader, Maybach, Outpost. He has his own program, which is Sonoma Coast Pinot called River's Moon. I would say, just from the standpoint of how much wine he makes for all these different people and how good it all is, he would definitely be somebody I would want to emulate for sure.
Cool.
So.
Well, thanks, Trey. It was great getting to know you and appreciate
too,
the time. And we'll look
Thank you.
forward to following you guys and keeping folks abreast of what you guys are doing there at Slight of Hand.
All right, come down to Walla Walla, double W.
There you go. Thanks, man.
Thanks.